Black people don't belong in hotels like this. Gerald Hayes, white hotel manager, says it to Olivia Bennett's face. He's authority. She's a black woman. He's decided that's all that matters. Listen, sweetheart. He leans in. Our Windsor suite is $3,000 per night. That's more than black folks like you make in a year. He drops her credit card. I'm doing you a favor. Motel 6 down the street, that's where black women at your income level should stay. 17 guests freeze. She smiles, reaches into her briefcase. He grabs his radio. Security to front desk. Black female refusing to leave, claiming she can afford premium suite. Suspicious behavior, need backup now. What this manager doesn't know. What she's holding makes him collapse. His face drains white, knees buckle. This racist just called security on his new boss. If they've judged you by skin color, comment justice now. Hit subscribe. You need to see this end. Olivia Bennett didn't buy a hotel on a whim. She spent 15 years earning this moment. 38 years old, MBA from Cornell. She's turned around 8 struggling properties in 12 years. Started as front desk associate at 23, learned that fixing hotels means fixing the culture first. The Sterling Grand is her newest acquisition. 200 rooms in downtown Chicago, built 1987. Now coasting on a dead reputation. Staff turnover at 41%. Whispers of toxic culture. She paid $17 million through Meridian Equity Partners. Closed September 12th. Public announcement October 10th. That gives her 28 days to see the truth as a guest. Gerald Hayes manages this hotel. 11 years here. Old school hospitality. Code for something darker. Olivia researched before signing. Found complaint logs going back 3 years. 6 complaints against Hayes, all involving guests of color. All resolved with quiet settlements totaling $324,000. All buried under NDAs. She knows about Patricia Woods, $85,000 to stay silent after Hayes questioned her credit card publicly. She knows about Carlos Martinez, $52,000 after Hayes doubted he could afford a conference room. The pattern is clear. Colonial Hospitality Group, the parent company, chose hush money over accountability every time. So Olivia booked the Windsor suite under her name, $3,200 for 6 nights. Everything legitimate. Everything designed to see if Hayes would profile her like he profiled the others. She's here for evidence. September 29th, 2:47 p.m. She wears a Navy theory suit, $1,200, perfectly tailored. Looks exactly like what she is, a successful black businesswoman. The lobby impresses. Vaulted ceilings, crystal chandelier, Italian marble, fresh lilies, everything signaling wealth and status. Olivia's walked into rooms like this her entire career. Rooms where people assumed she was cleaning staff. Boardrooms where they assumed she was taking notes, not leading meetings. She learned to document everything. Her iPhone records in her jacket pocket. Illinois allows one-party consent. Everything said becomes evidence. She walks through the revolving door, heels clicking on marble. A bellhop nods. She approaches the front desk where Angela Cooper, 29, blonde, looks up professionally. Then Gerald Hayes emerges from the back office. His expression changes instantly. Eyes narrow, smile thins, the warmth evaporates. She's seen this look before. It says, "You don't belong here." She reaches the counter, sets her bag down, smiles. "Good afternoon, checking in. Olivia Bennett." Angela's fingers move across the keyboard. "Yes, Miss Bennett. Windsor Suite for 6 nights." Gerald steps closer. Too close. Cologne overpowering, voice carefully controlled. "Is there something I can help you with?" Not a greeting, a challenge. Olivia keeps smiling. "Just checking in, thank you." But Gerald's already decided. What happens next will be recorded, witnessed by 17 guests, and seen by millions online. The clock reads 2:48. The humiliation begins now. "Are you sure you have a reservation?" Gerald asks it while staring at the screen showing Olivia's name. Windsor Suite. 6 nights, paid deposit, confirmed. "Yes, confirmed 6 days ago." He drags it out skeptically. "Identification and payment method?" Olivia produces her driver's license and American Express. Gerald picks up the license, studies it like evidence at a crime scene, holds it to the light, traces the edges, checking for forgeries. "Lincoln Park address?" He says it like an accusation. "That's correct. And you're paying with this card?" The Amex sits right there. The question makes no sense. "Yes, as indicated in my reservation. He examines the card, flips it, checks the signature. This black woman's credit requires more scrutiny than any white guest's ever has. What brings you to Chicago? Angela shifts uncomfortably. This isn't standard procedure. This is interrogation. Business, hospitality consulting. His eyebrow raises. Disbelief. And you're staying 6 nights in our Windsor suite? Alone? That's correct. No company booking, no corporate account, personal travel. The lobby's filling, 3:15 crowd. A couple waits behind Olivia impatiently. A businessman glances up from his phone. 3 women near concierge pause their conversation. And who are you meeting here? I'm sorry? Who are you meeting? Each word deliberate. A woman doesn't book a $3,000 suite without a reason. The implication, sex work, scam, something illegitimate. I'm not meeting anyone. Property assessments. Property assessments. He mocks it. Which properties? Various Chicago hotels. Interesting. He picks up the desk phone. Doesn't dial. Angela, hold processing. I need to verify some things. Verify what? Olivia stays calm. My reservation exists. My ID is valid. My payment is active. Company policy requires additional verification for high-value reservations. Show me that policy. Silence. Because it doesn't exist. The couple behind Olivia whispers. The businessman watches fully now. 5 more guests notice. Phones stay pocketed, for now. Gerald speaks into the receiver he never dialed. Unusual request. Verification needed. Suite-level guest. Then he reaches for his radio. Click. Security to the front desk. The words drop like stones. Ripples of silence. Angela's face drains color. The couple steps back. The businessman lowers his phone. 3 women stop pretending they're not watching. You're calling security for a confirmed reservation? Standard procedure when something doesn't feel right. What doesn't feel right? My reservation, my ID, my card, or me? She lets that last word sit. Me. My blackness. Gerald doesn't answer. Watches the hallway. Olivia's phone records everything, every word, every pause, every assumption. 3 minutes pass. The lobby dies silent. Everyone watches. 2 security officers appear. Officer Daniels, 50-ish, black, professional. Officer Price, 30s, white. Gerald speaks before they arrive, loud enough for everyone. This black woman claims she has a reservation for our Windsor suite. I need verification. He said it. This black woman. Not this guest. Not Miss Bennett. 17 guests freeze. Some pull out phones, recording. Officer Daniels looks at Olivia, at Angela's screen, back at Gerald. His expression says, this is wrong. Gerald just made his racism everyone's problem. Officer Daniels keeps his voice professional. Ma'am, is there an issue with your check-in? None. I have a confirmed reservation, valid ID, active credit card. Daniels turns to Gerald. Then what's the security concern? Gerald straightens. She's been asking unusual questions. The reservation details seem inconsistent with the typical profile of our suite guests. Translation. Black women don't stay in $3,000 rooms. Ma'am, would you provide additional verification? Olivia could refuse. She's within her rights. But she chooses cooperation. Produces everything again. Driver's license, Amex, email confirmation, corporate documentation. Everything validates, obviously. Angela speaks quietly. Her reservation's been in the system for 6 days. Everything's legitimate. Gerald ignores her. I need her escorted to the back office for private discussion. Code. Remove her from public view. The lobby's transformed into theater. Guests stopped moving. The couple backed up to seating. The businessman recording openly. 3 women abandon pretense. More phones emerge. 5, 7, 10. This goes online within the hour. Everything checks out, Daniels says. His tone carries weight. End this. Gerald doubles down. I'm the general manager. I'm exercising my authority. Escort her to the back office, now. Power move. Pure intimidation. Daniels exchanges a glance with Price. This is wrong. This is racist. This will be a lawsuit. But Gerald signs their paychecks. Ma'am, would you step aside with us momentarily? Olivia sees a black man caught between conscience and employment. She nods. Temporarily. They walk to a small office. Price leads. Gerald follows. Olivia walks between them. Not handcuffed, not restrained, but escorted like a suspect. Every guest watches a professionally dressed black woman removed for checking into a hotel. Someone near elevators. This is messed up. Is she arrested? No, just checking in. Then why? Murmurs spread. Discomfort ripples. Nobody stops it. The back office is small. Gray walls, fluorescent lighting, metal desk. Gerald closes the door, click. He crosses his arms, studies her like evidence. Let's cut through this. What do you really want? Working? Meeting a client? Running a scam? Sex work? Prostitution? Fraud? That's what black women with expensive reservations must be doing. Olivia sits, calm. I want to check into Windsor Suite, room 412, my reservation. That's $3,200 per night. I'm aware. $19,000 for 6 nights. Yes. And you're paying with this. 2 fingers on her card again. My American Express Platinum. Yes. Gerald sets it down. I don't believe you're a legitimate guest, said plainly. No more code. Daniels closes his eyes briefly. That's legal evidence. On what grounds? Manager discretion. 2 words. The same 2 used to bury 6 complaints. The same 2 that cost Colonial $324,000 in settlements. The fluorescent hums. Air conditioning rattles. Sir, Daniels tries. Everything checked out. Her ID is valid. Payment active. Reservation exists. No legal basis to refuse service. I've made my decision. I'm refusing service based on suspicious behavior and inconsistent guest profile. Said it, out loud, with witnesses. Olivia stands, reaches for her briefcase. Gerald tenses. Price's hand moves to his radio. She opens it, pulls out a folder, places it on the desk. Before you refuse service, I'd like to show you something. Her voice unchanged, still calm, but underneath, thunder before the storm. Gerald looks at the folder. Confidence wavers. What is this? Open it. He flips the cover. First document. Acquisition agreement. Sterling Grand Hotel. September 12th, 2024. Purchaser. Olivia Bennett. Equity, 67%. His eyes scan. His brain processes slowly. Color drains from his face. Literally drains. Pink to white in 3 seconds. His mouth opens. No sound. Daniel sees a man's world collapse. Gerald's hand shoots out, grabs the desk edge, knuckles white. His knees buckle. Price moves forward, ready to catch him. Gerald's breathing goes shallow, rapid, chest heaving. Sweat beads form instantly. He tries. Can't. I don't... He reaches for the chair. Misses. Stumbles. Price grabs his elbow. Sir? Price looks concerned. Need to sit? Gerald collapses into the chair. Face gray. Green tinge at edges. Nausea visible. Olivia watches. Doesn't smile. Doesn't gloat. Sir, need medical attention? Daniels asks. Gerald shakes his head weakly. Hands tremble. Breathing shallow. Olivia places the second document. Email from Colonial. Subject. Welcome to ownership team, September 12th. CC'd to all department heads, including Gerald Hayes. You received this 3 weeks ago. You skimmed it. Didn't read the name. Gerald stares. Hand shaking. Third document. Her reservation. Windsor Suite. Olivia Bennett. I booked this to experience how your staff treats guests. You've given me quite an education, Mr. Hayes. Gerald tries to stand. Legs won't support. Sits back hard. Miss Bennett, I didn't... You were just what? Following protocol where you question black guests? Silence. Heavy. You're suspended. Effective immediately. Pending investigation into discrimination complaints. You're not... My equity stake says otherwise. I'll call Thomas Bradford in 5 minutes. Clear your desk. Gerald sits trembling, sweating, career ending in a windowless office. Olivia walks out, head high. Gerald emerges 30 seconds later, face pale, gait unsteady. Walks past 17 guests who watched him call security. Holy shit! Did you see his face? I recorded everything. Gerald doesn't look up. Heads to back offices where his career used to be. Angela hands Olivia her key card, barely containing awe. Windsor Suite, 4th floor. Enjoy your stay, Miss Bennett. As elevator doors close, Olivia finally exhales. Point proven. Real fight starts now. The elevator rises. 1, 2, 3, 4. Olivia leans against brass railing, adrenaline draining. Her hands stayed steady the entire time. 15 years of proving she belonged taught her that. The Windsor Suite, $19,000 for 6 nights. Gerald didn't think she could afford it. Gerald was wrong. The suite is beautiful. Living room, bedroom, marble bath, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Michigan Avenue. She sets her bag down. Looks at Chicago's skyline, September sun casting long shadows. Phone buzzes. Rachel Morgan, her attorney. Saw the lobby video, already viral, 2.3 million views. Call me. Olivia pulls up Twitter. Searches Sterling Grand Hotel. First video, 43 seconds. Gerald saying, "This black woman, loud enough for everyone." Officers arriving. Olivia escorted away. 2 hours ago. Caption, "Hotel manager profiles black woman. Watch her stay calm." Thread coming. 2.3 million views. 58,000 retweets. I've been this woman. Every black professional's nightmare. The way she stayed composed. Queen. Update. Someone said she owns the hotel. Manager's face when he realized. Chef's kiss. Second video, Gerald emerging, face pale, walk unsteady, voiceover. Bro looks like he saw a ghost. 300,000 views. Third video, Olivia at desk. Angela processing check-in. Caption, she got the room and his job. 400,000 views. Olivia opens her laptop, checks her secure drive. Gerald Hayes' file, 11 years, 7 complaints, 6 involving race, all settled with NDAs. Patricia Woods, 85,000. May 2022. Carlos Martinez, 52,000. November 2022. Jamal Thompson, 78,000. March 2023. Keisha Robinson, 61,000. August 2023. Raj Patel, 48,000. January 2024. Total, 324,000 in 18 months. Olivia Bennett, today, the one who wouldn't take money. Phone rings. Rachel. Tell me you recorded it. Every word. Voice recording. One-party consent. Beautiful. I'm getting calls from 3 former guests. They saw the videos, want to break NDAs, willing to testify. Who? Patricia Woods called directly. Watching your video gave her courage. Olivia closes her eyes. Patricia, whose silence enabled 5 more victims. What else? James Sullivan, night shift supervisor at Sterling. He's been documenting Gerald for 2 years. Physical evidence, photos, emails, ready to go public. Why now? Because you didn't take the settlement. He's been waiting for someone with power who wouldn't disappear. Olivia looks at the skyline. Sun lower, shadows longer. She could stop here. Fire Gerald, reform quietly, move forward, but 6 people took money and let the system continue. Set up meetings. Everyone who wants to talk, document their stories properly. Colonial has unlimited legal budget. They'll make this expensive. I'm sure. One more thing. Diane Foster from Chicago Tribune. She's been investigating Colonial for 6 months. Wants an interview. Olivia thinks about Gerald's face. His assumption she couldn't afford this room, couldn't own this building, couldn't have power over him. Tell Diane yes. Give her everything. Rachel pauses. This gets ugly. Personal attacks, threats. They already tried in my lobby with witnesses. They hang up. Olivia sits in her $19,000 suite watching Chicago transition to evening. Gerald suspended. Racism documented. Career ending. But that's not justice. That's one man. Justice is Colonial answering for $324,000 in hush money. Justice is 47 hotels changing policy. Justice is the next black woman not getting questioned. That's the fight. Olivia Bennett just declared war. Every racist isn't an anomaly. Every anomaly excused becomes a pattern. Patterns leave receipts. September 30th, morning after. Olivia wakes to 400 messages. The lobby video has 15 million views. Hotel manager calls security on black woman. She owns the hotel, trends nationally. Everyone has opinions. Olivia ignores them. Opens laptop, calls Rachel. We need to go deeper. Gerald's a symptom. Agreed. I've subpoenaed Sterling's employment records. You can authorize as owner. Do it. Everything from 5 years. By noon, Rachel delivers the first batch. Olivia spreads files across the Windsor Suites dining table. Employee Incident Report #2021-047, March 2021. Black male guest questioned. Hayes called security anyway. Resolution, internal coaching. Employee Incident Report #2022-034, May 2022. Patricia Woods. Hayes questioned credit card publicly. Settlement, $85,000, NDA signed, file sealed. First sealed settlement. First time Colonial chose money over accountability. 6 documented complaints in 4 years. 3 with settlements totaling $324,000. 3 with internal coaching producing no change. All 6 complainants, people of color. Pattern established. Phone rings, unknown number. Miss Bennett? James Sullivan. Night supervisor at Sterling. I need to talk about Gerald Hayes, about what I've documented. They meet in the hotel business center at 3 p.m. James is 31. White, nervous, carries a thick folder. I've worked here 4 years. Watch Gerald profile guests constantly. Reported up the chain. HR said I was oversensitive. Corporate told me to mind my business. He opens the folder. So I documented everything myself. 127 pages, printed emails, screenshots, photos of handwritten notes, witness statements from 12 staff, signed, dated, notarized. This is Gerald's watch list. James slides over a photo. Notepad in Gerald's handwriting. Names with coded descriptors. AAF, solo, suite. HM, cash payment, suspicious. AA means African American, James explains. H means Hispanic. Watch these guests more carefully. Olivia's jaw tightens. He kept this at the desk. In his office. I photographed it 6 months ago. More pages. Email chains Gerald to HR. From Gerald Hayes to HR Director date, March 17, 2023. Subject. Guest situation resolved, handled Thompson situation discreetly. Guest was insistent, but financial resolution achieved. Recommend maintaining current standards. Translation. Paid Jamal Thompson to go away. Let me keep profiling. From HR Director RE. Guest situation resolved, acknowledged. Legal will process. Going forward, loop in regional management before escalating to security. Translation. Keep doing it. Be quieter. Corporate knew, Olivia says. Corporate encouraged it. James pulls another document. This is the smoking gun. Internal memo. September 20th, 2024. 9 days before Olivia's incident. From Thomas Bradford, VP Operations, Colonial Hospitality 2. All general managers, 47 properties. Subject. Guest experience standards. Enhanced verification protocols. Effective immediately. GMs authorized to implement discretionary verification for reservations outside typical customer profile. Standard verification applies to first-time guests, non-corporate bookings, high-value reservations without established loyalty, guests whose presentation appears inconsistent with suite-level accommodations. Olivia reads it 3 times. Presentation inconsistent with suite-level accommodations, that's code. That's permission, James says. Corporate told every GM, profile guests who don't look wealthy. It's systemic. Phone buzzes. Diane Foster, Chicago Tribune. Can we talk? I've been investigating Colonial for 6 months. You have the platform. Let's expose this. Olivia meets Diane at a coffee shop. Diane's 44. Sharp. Portfolio stuffed with documents. I've interviewed 9 former Colonial employees, 4 settlement recipients willing to break NDAs. All same story. GMs empowered to discriminate, corporate protects them, victims paid to disappear. She slides over financial records. Colonial paid $4.2 million in discrimination settlements over 7 years, across 47 properties, none publicly disclosed. $4.2 million? That's what I can document. Who knows how many never filed complaints? Olivia thinks about those who just checked out silently. I want to publish everything, Diane says. Full investigation, your story as catalyst, but I need your cooperation. What do you need? On-record interview, access to James's documents, confirmation you'll testify. Yes, all of it. October 1st, Diane's article takes shape. Title, The $324,000 Silence. How one hotel chain paid to bury racial profiling. Rachel subpoenas Colonial's full records. Discovers 8 more cases at Sterling Grand. Settled before formal complaints, never documented. Total at Sterling, 16 incidents. $400,000 paid. Patricia Woods calls Olivia. I saw your video, voice shaking. I took their money, $85,000, told myself it was practical, my daughter needed surgery. You did what you had to. But he kept doing it to others. I bought my silence and someone else paid. Pause. I'm breaking the NDA. I don't care if they sue. October 2nd, Rachel's office. Patricia gives deposition. Gerald picked up my credit card with 2 fingers like it was dirty. Said, this seems unusual for someone in your income bracket. I'd saved 2 years. He made me feel like a criminal. Carlos Martinez comes forward. He asked if I was sure I could afford the conference room. I'm a VP at a Fortune 500 company. He assumed I was catering, tech support, anything except running the meeting. Keisha Robinson joins. He questioned my medical credentials, asked if I was really a doctor, like black women can't be physicians. 3 settlement recipients breaking NDAs, choosing truth over silence. James adds his 127 pages. 12 staff provide supporting testimony. Angela confirms she watched Gerald profile for 2 years. I tried reporting it. HR said Gerald followed discretionary protocols. When I pushed back, they implied my job was at risk. The evidence stacks, pattern solidifies, receipts accumulate. September 29th, Olivia's incident. Video documented, 17 witnesses, 15 million views. September 20th, corporate memo authorizing discrimination, 2021 to 2024. 16 incidents at Sterling. 400,000 in settlements, 2018 to 2024. Colonial nationwide, 4.2 million, 47 properties. Systematic policy. This isn't Gerald being racist. This is Colonial empowering racism, protecting racists, paying victims for silence. October 3rd. Thomas Bradford, VP of Colonial, calls, "Miss Bennett, we need to discuss this privately. I don't do private conversations about public discrimination. Gerald followed established protocols. His suspension is premature. We're prepared to offer resolution." What resolution? Reinstate Hayes with training. Provide you $250,000 for improvements. Joint statement about mutual misunderstanding. Translation: take money. Stay quiet. "No," Olivia says. "You're making a mistake. We have significant resources. Legal teams will protect our brand. I have something better. Receipts." She hangs up. The counterattack begins. But Olivia has 16 victims, 4.2 million reasons, and a journalist about to publish everything. Silence ends now. The system doesn't go quietly. It hires lawyers, spins narratives, reminds you what you have to lose. October 4th, Colonial Hospitality Group releases a statement. "We take all allegations seriously and have launched a comprehensive internal review. Mr. Hayes has been placed on administrative leave. Colonial Hospitality is committed to exceptional service to all guests regardless of race. We have zero tolerance for discriminatory behavior. We are cooperating fully with Miss Bennett during this transition. Zero accountability, zero acknowledgement of pattern, zero mention of 4.2 million. By noon, the counter-narrative begins. Hospitality Insider publishes, "New hotel owner creates controversy days into acquisition." Anonymous quotes, clearly from Colonial. She conducted a sting operation on her own staff. Questions arise whether this was legitimate or orchestrated for publicity. The spin. Olivia's the problem. She provoked Gerald. She's inexperienced, aggressive, seeking a lawsuit. Victim becomes villain. Gerald Hayes hires an attorney, paid by Colonial's insurance. They send cease and desist to Diane Foster. "Our client demands cessation of your planned article. Publication constitutes defamation. Mr. Hayes followed established protocols in good faith. Characterization of racial bias is false and actionable. They're threatening everyone. Journalist, settlement recipients, anyone who speaks." October 5th. One of Olivia's equity partners calls an emergency meeting. Richard Morrison, 63, old money, uncomfortable with controversy. "This is bad for business. Hotels.com rating dropped. Bookings down 30%. Corporate accounts canceling." Because I exposed racism? Because you made it public. You could have handled this internally. Instead, you're starting a war. They spent 4.2 million covering discrimination. I don't care. My investors want returns, not controversy. This publicity kills bookings. Settle with Hayes. Settle with Colonial. Move forward. And let them keep discriminating at 46 other properties. Morrison leans back. "That's not our problem. Your crusade costs us money. I'm pulling funding if you don't resolve this by October 10th. 5 days. Settle or I sell my stake." He leaves. The threat hangs. Olivia checks numbers. Morrison's right. October reservations down 28%, November cancellations totaling 190,000. Fighting racism is expensive when racists control the narrative. October 6th, personal attacks begin, social media harassment, doxing attempts, home address posted on alt-right forums, phone number leaked, hundreds of threats. "You people always play victim. Race baiting for attention. Go back where you came from." Death threats vague enough to avoid charges but specific enough to frighten. Her assistant quits. "I'm sorry, I can't handle the harassment." Old colleagues distance. Professional contacts suddenly too busy. Nobody wants association with controversy. Isolation crushes slowly. Pressure from all sides. October 7th. Colonial plays their trump card. Gerald Hayes gives Fox News interview, coached, rehearsed, sympathetic. "I've dedicated 25 years to hospitality. If my actions offended Miss Bennett, I sincerely apologize. I was doing my job. I follow the same protocols for everyone." Interviewer: "Do you believe this is about race?" "I think Miss Bennett had an agenda. She walked in looking for a problem." Pause. Sad eyes. My career's destroyed over a misunderstanding. My family's suffering. Masterful manipulation. Gerald becomes sympathetic. Olivia becomes aggressive. Local news covers both sides. Hotel manager or target, debate continues. Shows Gerald's interview. Olivia's video. Experts debating whether managers have discretion. False equivalence. Racism versus protocol. Truth drowns beneath both sidesism. October 8th, 11 p.m., Windsor Suite. Olivia sits alone. Legal documents she can't afford. Hate mail that won't stop. The cost of speaking truth. 14 missed calls, half harassment, half press, none support. Financial dashboard shows red everywhere. Revenue down, bookings down, morale down. Fighting costs everything. Phone buzzes, her mother. Baby, is this worth it? You're losing everything. Is it worth it? She thinks about Patricia's voice. I took the money and he kept hurting others. She thinks about 16 victims who took settlements and disappeared. She thinks about the next black woman who'll face the same profiling. She could settle. Take Morrison's advice. Save her business. Gerald's face flashes. His assumption she couldn't afford the room. His confidence calling security. His shock when reality shattered racism. That shock needs to be permanent. Olivia types email to Diane. Publish everything. I don't care about threats. I'll testify. Whatever it takes. Send. Another to Rachel. They want to fight. File complaints with Illinois Attorney General, EEOC, DOJ. Full investigation of Colonial's corporate practices. Send. She's about to lose investors, lose revenue, possibly lose her hotel. But staying silent costs more. Tomorrow tests that theory. There's a moment in every fight where you ask, am I strong enough? October 9th, 1:30 a.m. Can't sleep. The Windsor Suite costs $3,200 per night. Gerald said people like her don't stay here. Now she owns it and can't afford to keep fighting. Irony tastes bitter. She stands at floor-to-ceiling windows. Chicago sleeps below, lights glowing in darkness. Beautiful. Indifferent. The AC hums, distant elevator dings, city noise muted through glass. 15 years climbing. Every room she proved she belonged twice as hard. Every promotion questioned, every success whispered. Affirmative action, quota hire, lucky. And still, Gerald saw her and decided. Threat. Phone sits on marble counter. 43 hate messages since midnight. Stopped reading at 20. Financial reports reviewed 4 times. October revenue down 31%. Corporate accounts canceling. Sterling Grand's reputation tanking because she refused silence. Morrison's ultimatum expires tomorrow. Settle or lose his 10%. Small until you lose it during cash crisis. She could call Bradford now. Accept the deal. Reinstate Gerald with training. Sign non-disparagement. Take $250,000. Bury this like Colonial buried 16 others. Patricia took $85,000 and her daughter got surgery. Practical survival. How is Olivia's fight different? Pride, principle, privilege she can afford to fight when others couldn't? Mother's text. Baby, is this worth it? Losing investors, bookings, friends, sleep. The business she worked 15 years to build. For what? Gerald's already suspended. Viral video guarantees he'll never work hospitality again. She won, didn't she? But Colonial operates 46 other hotels. Bradford still writes memos. Managers still profile. System still protects itself. One victory doesn't dismantle the machine. She sits on bed's edge, head in hands. First time admitting doubt aloud. I don't know if I can do this. Words echo. Nobody answers. She's carrying 16 sterling victims, $4.2 million of victims nationwide. Every black woman questioned in a lobby. Every professional treated like a criminal. She's carrying all of them, about to drop them. Maybe Morrison's right. Maybe fixing one hotel is enough. Maybe systemic change isn't her responsibility. Maybe survival matters more than justice. Laptop shows bank balance. Legal fees, $78,000. Rachel's retainer, another $50,000 needed. Lost revenue, climbing, math doesn't work, fight costs more than she has. She lies on 1,000 thread count sheets, stares at ceiling, remembers why she bought this hotel. Not profit, purpose. Because at 23, a manager said she didn't look like management material. Because at 31, a client asked if she was really the lead consultant. Because she walked into rooms her whole life and watched people decide she didn't belong. She bought this to prove something, to herself, to Gerald, to everyone who saw her skin and saw limitation. But proving something doesn't pay bills. Phone buzzes. 1:44 a.m. Email from James Sullivan. Subject: You're not alone. 12 of us ready to go on record. Public testimony. Names attached. We've been waiting for someone who wouldn't take money and disappear. You're that person. Don't stop. We need you because we can't fight alone. Second email. 1:45. Patricia Woods. Subject. I broke my NDA talk to Tribune today. If Colonial sues, so be it. Tired of silence. Watching you refuse to take it gave me permission to speak. Thank you. Don't give up. For the next person. Third email. 1:48. Diane Foster. Subject. Article goes live tomorrow 6 a.m. publication. Front page. This gets loud. Brace yourself. Thank you for not backing down. Olivia reads twice. Not alone. Never was. 12 staff risking jobs. Patricia breaking legal agreement. James documenting 2 years waiting for backup. They've been carrying this alone, waiting, until now. This isn't about Olivia's pride. It's about 12 voices finally able to speak. About Patricia choosing truth. About the next black woman being treated like she belongs. Can't do this alone. But she's not alone anymore. Olivia stands, walks to window. Chicago, still glowing. Texts Rachel. I'm in, whatever it takes. Texts Diane. Publish everything. Texts James. Thank you. Tell the others, together. Sets alarm for 6 a.m. Tomorrow article breaks. Tomorrow colonial silence ends. Tomorrow the buried dig back. Fighting alone is impossible. Fighting together just became inevitable. Silence protects systems. But when 12 voices speak at once, silence shatters. October 9th, 6 a.m. Chicago Tribune homepage refreshes, front page. The $4.20 million silence, hotel chain paid to bury racial profiling for 7 years. By Diane Foster. Colonial Hospitality Group operates 47 hotels nationwide. Between 2018 and 2024, the company paid $4.2 million to settle discrimination complaints, none publicly disclosed. The Sterling Grand incident isn't an anomaly. It's a pattern. 4,300 words, fully sourced, devastating. Patricia Woods' testimony. They paid me to disappear. I took the money because my daughter needed surgery. But Gerald Hayes kept profiling black guests after I left. My silence enabled that. James Sullivan's documentation, photos of Gerald's watch list, emails between corporate and GMs, the September 20th memo authorizing discriminatory verification protocols, financial records, 16 incidents at Sterling Grand, $400,000 in payouts. Similar patterns at 12 other colonial properties. The corporate memo reproduced in full. Guests whose presentation appears inconsistent with suite-level accommodations. 7 a.m. The article goes viral. Twitter explodes. #Sterling Grand truth trends nationally within 90 minutes. At civilrights.org. This is systemic racism with a paper trail. $4.2 million paid to maintain discrimination. 87K retweets at Black Professionals. Every black person knows this feeling. Now there's proof it's policy, not paranoia. 124K retweets. The lobby video resurfaces with new context. 18 million views. Comments shift. This wasn't one racist manager. This was company policy. $4.2 million, they knew. They paid to keep doing it. 8 a.m., James Sullivan posts on LinkedIn. I'm the whistleblower in today's Tribune investigation. I documented Gerald Hayes' discrimination for 2 years. I'm done being silent. 14,000 reactions in 3 hours. Comments pour in. I worked at a colonial property in Atlanta. Same thing happened. Former Houston GM here. Corporate encouraged discretionary standards. That's code. 12 staff members from Sterling Grand changed their LinkedIn headlines. Standing with Olivia Bennett. No more silence. Angela Cooper posts video. 30 seconds. Voice shaking but determined. I watched Gerald Hayes profile guests for 2 years. I reported it to HR. They told me to stop causing problems. I'm sorry I didn't speak louder, but I'm speaking now. 600,000 views by noon. 9 a.m. Organizations mobilize. NAACP Chicago. We stand with Miss Bennett and demand full investigation of Colonial Hospitality Group's discriminatory practices nationwide. Chicago Hotel Workers Union. This is why we need stronger protections. Workers shouldn't face retaliation for reporting racism. National Black Business Coalition? We're calling for boycott of all colonial properties until comprehensive reforms are implemented. Corporate travel accounts react. 3 major companies suspend bookings at colonial properties pending investigation. 10 a.m. Former colonial executives come forward. Michael Stevens, retired regional VP. I left Colonial in 2019 because leadership refused to address discrimination seriously. This has been a problem for decades. Competitor hotels distance themselves. Marriott. We maintain mandatory bias training quarterly and transparent complaint processes audited by third parties. Subtle, clear. They're throwing Colonial under the bus. 11 a.m. Financial pressure mounts. Colonial's parent company, publicly traded, sees stock drop 6%. Shareholders demand emergency board meeting. Major clients pause contracts. Tech conference relocates. Medical association cancels. Law firm ends corporate travel agreement. Boycott works fast. Noon. Olivia's phone explodes with support. Thank you for not taking the money. My son was profiled last month. Seeing you fight gives us courage. I took a settlement 5 years ago. Wish I'd fought like you. Richard Morrison, the investor who threatened to pull funding, calls. I was wrong. I'm staying. I'm sorry I doubted. 1 p.m. GoFundMe appears, started by a stranger. Support Olivia Bennett's legal fight against hotel discrimination. Goal, $50,000, raised $132,000 by 3 p.m. Olivia donates it all to Civil Rights Legal Defense Funds. 2 p.m. Gerald Hayes' support crumbles. His attorney releases statement. In light of recent revelations about corporate policies, we're evaluating our legal strategy. Translation, Gerald's been thrown to the wolves. 3 p.m. The tide has turned completely. From isolated hotel owner to movement in 72 hours. 12 staff testimonies. Patricia breaking her NDA. 4.2 million exposed. National boycott mobilized. Stock prices falling. Colonial can't settle this away. Too public, too documented. Too many voices. If you've ever been told you don't belong somewhere you had every right to be, drop a comment. Because Olivia's about to prove you're not alone. This is bigger than one manager, one hotel, one moment. Olivia stands in Windsor Suite watching her phone light up. Not fighting alone, never was. But the biggest receipt hasn't dropped yet, and when it does, Colonial goes from defending a manager to defending a conspiracy. They said it didn't exist. Then someone leaked the memo that proved they wrote it down. October 10th, 11:34 p.m. Diane Foster's email chimes. Anonymous sender encrypted. Subject, you need to see this one attachment. PDF, confidential, internal use only. She opens it. Internal memo. September 20th, 2024, 9 days before Olivia's incident. From Thomas Bradford, VP Operations to all general managers, 47 properties, subject, guest experience standards, enhanced discretionary vetting. The memo James photographed, but this version includes page 2. Implementation notes, training guidance. Diane's hands shake. Implementation notes, page 2. GMs should apply enhanced vetting to reservations demonstrating risk indicators. First-time guests booking premium accommodations. Reservations outside typical demographic profile for property location. Guests whose appearance, dress, or demeanor suggests inconsistency with stated financial capability. Non-corporate bookings for extended stays. Discretionary assessment protocols. Request secondary identification beyond standard requirements. Inquire about employment, payment source, purpose of stay. Verify reservation authenticity through additional contact points. When uncertainty exists, delay check-in pending GM approval. If guest becomes confrontational, escalate to security. These guidelines protect brand reputation and ensure appropriate guest experience standards. Managers exercise professional judgment. Document all security incidents. Authorized, Thomas Bradford, VP Operations approved, Catherine Reynolds, Chief Operating Officer, Legal Review, completed September 15, 2024. It's all there, corporate policy. Guests whose appearance suggests inconsistency with financial capability. Typical demographic profile for property location. Coded language for question Black guests, Latino guests, anyone who doesn't look wealthy enough. And it's not just Bradford. The COO approved it. Legal reviewed it. This goes to the top. Diane calls Olivia. Midnight. I have it. The smoking gun. What? Page 2 of September 20th memo, implementation notes, explicit racial profiling as corporate policy, approved by C-suite. Diane emails the document. Olivia opens it, reads again. They put it in writing. They put it in writing. Distributed to 47 properties. This is conspiracy to discriminate. Olivia calls Rachel. 1 a.m. We file federal complaints immediately. Systemic discrimination with executive authorization. EEOC DOJ Illinois Attorney General. Based on what? Corporate memo explicitly instructing racial profiling. Approved by COO. Legal reviewed. Distributed company-wide. Rachel's silent, 3 seconds. Send it, now. October 11th, 6 a.m. Diane publishes follow-up. Hotel chain's secret profiling policy exposed in leaked memo. Full memo. Both pages reproduced. 7 a.m. National media. CNN. Hotel chain accused of systematic racial profiling policy. MSNBC. Internal documents show corporate authorization of guest discrimination. Washington Post. Colonial Hospitality's paper trail how racism became protocol. The memo becomes the story. Not Gerald. Not one incident. Company policy. 8 a.m. Other colonial properties collapse under scrutiny. Atlanta. I'm a black doctor. They asked me 3 times how I was paying. White guests weren't asked once. Houston. Latino businessman. Front desk called my company to verify my position before giving me the conference room key. Phoenix. Asian American couple. Manager suggested we'd be more comfortable in a standard room instead of the suite we booked. Pattern across properties. Same protocols, same profiling, same corporate authorization. 9 a.m. Catherine Reynolds, Colonial's COO, issues statement. The referenced memo does not reflect Colonial Hospitality's values. The language was inappropriate and the policy has been rescinded. VP Bradford has been placed on administrative leave. We're conducting comprehensive review. Problem. Memo dated September 20th. Today is October 11th. Active policy 21 days, including when Olivia was profiled. Problem. Legal review completed September 15th, 2024 means lawyers approved it. This was deliberate. Problem. Someone inside Colonial's leadership leaked page 2. Someone knows this is wrong and wants accountability. 10 a.m. The leaker's identity surfaces. Christina Wallace, HR director, 15 years with Colonial, conscience broke. Statement through attorney. I couldn't stomach covering it up anymore. I watched Colonial pay millions to silence victims while promoting managers who discriminated. The September memo was the last straw. Leadership knew it was discriminatory. Legal knew. They did it anyway. Risking her career. Pension, legal retaliation. But she leaked evidence proving corporate conspiracy. Noon. Federal agencies respond. Illinois Attorney General announces investigation into Colonial Hospitality statewide. EEOC confirms reviewing complaints from multiple plaintiffs. DOJ Civil Rights Division. We're monitoring closely. 1 p.m. Shareholders revolt. Emergency board meeting. Stock down 14%. 3 institutional investors demand CEO resignation. Board member resigns. I will not be associated with a company that institutionalized racism. 2 p.m. Boycott intensifies. National Urban League. No events at Colonial Properties until comprehensive reforms verified. 300 organizations sign joint letter demanding Colonial sell all properties or implement independent oversight. 3 p.m. Gerald Hayes' defense evaporates. His attorney withdraws. In light of revelations about corporate policy, we cannot adequately defend Mr. Hayes' actions. Translation. Gerald followed discriminatory orders. He's liable, but so is everyone who gave those orders. 4 p.m. Olivia gives press conference. Hotel lobby. 20 reporters. This memo proves what we've been saying. It's not about bad apples. It's about the tree. Colonial created policy explicitly designed to discriminate. They trained managers to profile. They protected managers who did. Reporter. What do you want? Federal investigation, independent oversight, every settlement recipient released from NDAs, every discriminatory policy eliminated. Every executive who approved this, including COO and legal team, held accountable. Some say you're destroying the company. Olivia looks at camera. I'm not destroying the company. I'm destroying the racism the company built. If the company can't survive without discrimination, it doesn't deserve to survive. Clip goes viral. 40 million views in 12 hours. 5 p.m. Colonial Board announces CEO Catherine Reynolds resigned to pursue other opportunities. Translation? Fired. VP Thomas Bradford terminated for cause. 3 regional directors on administrative leave. Purge begins. 6 p.m. Olivia sits in Windsor Suite. Exhausted, vindicated. The memo changed everything. Corporate conspiracy proven, paper trail documented. They wrote it down, now everyone can read it. Justice isn't just coming for Gerald Hayes. Justice is coming for everyone who signed that memo. Accountability isn't a backroom settlement. It's standing under oath and answering for what you did. October 12th, 10 a.m. Chicago City Council Chambers, Business Affairs Committee special hearing. 83 people pack the room. Media fills back rows. Cameras line walls, streaming live. 40,000 watching. Alderman Keisha Robinson, chair, gavels open. We're here because a woman was profiled in a business she owns, but this isn't about one woman. It's about whether Chicago tolerates systemic discrimination in our hospitality sector. First testimony, Olivia Bennett, 10:15 a.m., sworn in. She recounts September 29th. Facts only. Gerald's questions about her address, payment, purpose. Security called for confirmed reservation. Public humiliation. I was questioned because Mr. Hayes saw me and decided I didn't belong, not based on behavior, based on appearance. She introduces the memo. Reads aloud. Guests whose appearance suggests inconsistency with suite-level accommodations. I'm a black woman in a business suit with confirmed reservation and valid credit. What about my appearance was inconsistent besides my skin? Chamber goes silent. 6 people before me settled, took money, disappeared. I have privilege of ownership and resources. I'm fighting for those who couldn't. Second testimony, Patricia Woods, 10:35 a.m., hands trembling, voice strong. Gerald Hayes made me feel like a criminal. He held my credit card with 2 fingers like it was dirty, said it seemed unusual for someone in my income bracket. Pause. Collects herself. I took $85,000 to stay quiet. Worst decision, not because of money, because people kept getting hurt. How many more Patricias took money and disappeared? Third testimony, James Sullivan, 10:50 a.m., presents 127-page documentation. Photos, emails, witness statements. I documented because no one in corporate would. They'd settle, forget, repeat. I'm a white man. When I reported discrimination, I was told I was imagining things. Imagine what black staff felt. Describes Gerald's watch list. Corporate encouragement, culture of silence. Fourth testimony, Gerald Hayes, 11:10 a.m., subpoenaed, attorney beside him. Gerald looks diminished, gray, defeated. Alderman Robinson, Mr. Hayes, did Miss Bennett exhibit suspicious behavior September 29th? She was asking questions. What questions? About elevators, suite amenities, normal guest questions? Long pause. Yes. Then why call security? Gerald looks at attorney. Attorney nods. I had a concern. Based on what? Silence. Based on what, Mr. Hayes? Instinct. That word, instinct. Bias admitted under oath. Robinson leans forward. Instinct based on what factor? Gerald says nothing. Was it her race, Mr. Hayes? Attorney. My client maintains he followed corporate protocols as outlined in September 20th memo. Those protocols contained discriminatory guidance. Mr. Hayes believed he was following policy. Translation, Gerald's guilty, but corporate made him do it. Fifth testimony, Thomas Bradford, 11:30 a.m., former VP, subpoenaed. Takes Fifth Amendment on 12 questions. Who approved September 20th memo? Fifth Amendment. How many settlements has Colonial paid total? Fifth Amendment. Did you know the memo authorized racial profiling? Fifth Amendment. Silence convicts louder than testimony. Robinson. Your silence speaks volumes, Mr. Bradford. Noon. City Council vote. Motion. Refer Colonial Hospitality to Illinois Attorney General for civil rights investigation. Motion. Require all Chicago hotels to publicly report discrimination complaints annually. Vote 8-0. Unanimous. Chamber erupts in applause. 12:15 p.m. Olivia's closing statement. I didn't come to Chicago to be a civil rights case. I came to run a business. But when systems protect bias over people, business owners have a responsibility. She looks at Gerald. He won't meet her eyes. This hearing won't fix everything, but it's a start. To every person told they don't belong, in a hotel, a store, a boardroom, you do. And when they question that, make them answer why. Final line, no one should have to own the building to be treated with dignity. Applause, standing ovation, cameras flashing. Gerald exits side door, head down. No statement. Bradford hustled out by security, avoiding press. Olivia exits to reporter scrum. This isn't about me anymore. It's about what comes next. It's about ensuring the next black woman who walks into a Colonial Hospitality hotel gets treated like a guest, not a threat. Outside, Patricia Woods and James Sullivan wait. They hug, survivors and allies united. The hearing ends, the reckoning begins. Justice isn't the end, it's what you build after. October 13th, Gerald Hayes resigns, no severance, no reference, unemployable in hospitality. Thomas Bradford terminated for cause. Catherine Reynolds forced out. 3 regional directors fired. November 1st, Colonial Hospitality Group settlement. $4.2 million paid to 18 plaintiffs. No NDAs. Public apology issued. Illinois Attorney General investigation ongoing. 3 other colonial properties flagged for similar complaints. December. The Sterling Grand, under Olivia's leadership, implements new protocols. Mandatory bias training quarterly for all staff. Transparent complaint system through third-party hotline. No internal burial. Verification standards identical for all guests, regardless of appearance. No more discretionary protocols. New general manager hired Tamara Ellis, black woman. 20 years hospitality experience, symbolic and substantive choice. Staff diversity initiatives launched. Anonymous culture surveys conducted monthly. Zero tolerance policy for discrimination, enforced without exception. January 2025. Chicago passes city ordinance requiring hotels to publicly report discrimination complaints annually. Data transparency becomes law. Hotels can no longer bury incidents. Colonial Hospitality, under federal pressure and facing DOJ scrutiny, implements nationwide reforms across all 47 properties. Independent oversight board established with community representatives. Annual civil rights audits required. Mandatory diversity training expanded from quarterly to monthly for management. Other hotel chains preemptively update policies. Nobody wants to be the next Colonial Hospitality. Industry-wide change triggered by one woman's refusal to stay silent. The Sterling Grand thrives under new leadership. Bookings up 23% year over year. Staff retention highest in company history. Guest satisfaction scores improve by 31 points. Reviews emphasize welcoming atmosphere and professional, respectful service. Patricia Woods finds new purpose. Partners with NACP to counsel victims of hospitality discrimination. Helps others navigate the system she once feared. Turns her pain into advocacy. James Sullivan, promoted to Assistant General Manager, oversees implementation of new protocols, trains incoming staff on recognizing and preventing discriminatory behavior. His documentation becomes case study in hospitality management courses nationwide. Angela Cooper leads diversity and inclusion training for new hires. Her testimony inspires other frontline workers to speak up when they witness injustice. Olivia Bennett becomes national advocate, speaks at hospitality industry conferences about building inclusive workplace cultures. Guest lectures at Cornell's School of Hotel Administration. Consulting practice expands to help other properties address systemic bias. She still owns the Sterling Grand, still walks through those doors. Now they see a leader. They see change. They see what accountability looks like. Gerald Hayes' instinct was racism. Olivia Bennett's instinct was justice. Professionalism without accountability is oppression in a suit. Real change requires receipts and the courage to make them public. One woman refused to take the money. 12 employees found their voices. $4.2 million in buried shame came to light, and an entire industry was forced to look at itself. The system tried to silence her. The system lost. If this story moved you, if you've ever been told you don't belong in a space you had every right to occupy, share it. Comment below where you're watching from and what justice means to you. Hit subscribe because these stories matter. These voices matter. Next time someone decides your worth based on your skin color before you open your mouth, remember, documentation is power. Solidarity is strength. Your dignity is non-negotiable. Hold the door open for someone who's been told they don't belong. Stand with them. Amplify their voice. Because justice isn't just about one person winning one fight. It's about making sure the fight doesn't have to happen again. Thanks for listening. Justice isn't loud, but it echoes when we witness it together.